Travis Scott's first interview since the Astroworld tragedy has caused the internet to erupt in an outpouring of anger, with many people dragging him and calling him out for failing to take responsibility. Let's get into it. Not long after Travis Scott spoke out in his first ever interview on Thursday since the Astroworld Festival tragedy that resulted in 10 victims losing their lives and hundreds injured, thousands of past and present fans have flocked to the internet to share their input. Travis sat down with TV and radio host Charlamagne tha God for a 50-minute interview where he attempted to detail his own account of what went down that night after he failed to stop the show despite concert goers screaming at him for help. Now, Travis faces multiple lawsuits, a shattered image, and possibly what many believe to be the end of his career, especially after refusing to take any responsibility for what occurred that night. At one point during the interview, Travis admitted that he did stop the show for a brief period to make sure someone near the front row was being escorted out by medics, but told Charlamagne that what turned out to be an ambulance driving through the crowd, he simply thought was nothing more than some sort of light show.
It was lights, so, an ambulance don't really have like red and blue lights,
So you thought it was...
I don't, you don't know, you just looking at his lights.
After claiming he asked what's going on and what the lights were, he claimed he got no response. Travis then admitted he carried on and continued on with the show. He also claimed that, as any artist, it's extremely difficult to see or hear while on stage, with sounds, lights, pyro, and his in-ears. However, many of Travis's comments during the interview were met with extreme outrage from viewers who tuned in. One user called Travis's bluff, suggesting that his comments aren't adding up. They said, "He didn't hear anyone, but stopped to say, 'Who wants me to stop?' Another person added, "He literally said during the show, 'Who's telling me to stop?' And now he's trying to say that he didn't hear anything. And let's say he didn't hear anything. I'm sure he saw people on top of the police carts and ambulances in the crowd. So there were more than enough things going on to get his attention and make him stop." Others continued to bring up Travis's controversial past during his shows, like this user who added, "Coming from the guy who got a concert goer jumped and paralyzed over a friggin' shoe? Okay, Travis." A few of Travis's fans, however, stepped in to defend him, one giving him props for conducting the interview and believing he was genuine. An attorney for one of the 10 killed during the event is also speaking out after tuning into the interview, claiming that Travis seems to be doing his best to place the blame on anyone but himself. Tony Busby, who represented the family of 21-year-old Axel Acosta, said he was offended by what he saw during the interview. He explained, "Axel Acosta and the many others killed or injured are the victims. Travis Scott, his entourage, handlers, promoters, managers, hangers-on, and everyone else who enable him are the problem. Everything that Travis Scott has done or said since 10 people died and hundreds of others were injured at his concert has been lawyer-driven and calculated to shift blame from him to someone else." Busby has already filed a $750 million lawsuit against Travis and others, and refuses to believe the claim that he had no idea that his concert was a mass casualty event until the press conference. He added, "Travis now says he had an earpiece in and was not told what was going on in the crowd. That raises the question, did he have an earpiece in his eye? Why did he purposely ignore the death and mayhem occurring literally feet from him?" In continuing to deny responsibility, Busby claims that Travis further exacerbates the pain of those that lost loved ones, adding, "Axel Acosta's family doesn't want to hear Travis Scott's excuses. Excuses do not assuage their grief and pain." Regardless of the outcomes of the many lawsuits, we continue to keep the families and the loved ones of the victims in our thoughts as they continue to navigate through this tragedy. And for more details on Travis's interview with Charlamagne tha God, click right over here for another clever video. Then be sure to let me know your thoughts on Travis's interview and if you think he's being truthful or playing the victim in the comments section below. I'm your girl Susan Morad. I'll catch you later. Bye guys.